Time for us to get into what the headlines are saying this morning at 6:30 a.m. We'll be going through various platforms. Please note these headlines are only read as published according to the guidelines of these various media outlets and have got nothing to do with Nigeria Info. To ensure that in reacting, you have the facts, the details, and every information that you need when you call in or send a message. We are streaming live on YouTube and Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja. Let's get started with the headlines right now.
Hot and fresh off the press, these are the front pages.
The Punch has got this major headline: hunger protests. Tinubu's speech attracts knocks. Kudos. Soyinka PDP slam president's address. NGOs, others hail it. Protest organizers demand 1,150 detainees release. Retail investors may short bank stocks as shareholders lose 1.6 trillion naira. Marketers stop fuel supply, queues resurface. Public debt may hit 130 trillion naira by December. That's according to a report. JAM gives tertiary institutions ultimatum to disclose illegal admissions. NDLEA arrests 12 with drugs hidden in baby food tins. Hardship. States get 570 billion naira grants. Oyo local government chairman flout new association. Ladoja to get beaded crown this week, as according to the palace sources. Obaseki slams federal government for hardship as protesters worship on street. Katsina traders count losses, lament low patronage. Police to conduct autopsy on Justice Ajumogobia daughter's body. Benue widow, 6 children hospitalized after pap meal. Buhari's minister faults Tinubu's broadcast, backs protest organizers. How anxiety over hunger protest triggered federal government's emergency policies. Labour will ground states that refuse to pay 70,000 naira minimum wage. Osun NLC chair. Hashtag end bad governance in Nigeria. Ondo PDP accuses Ayedatiwa of inducing youths, clergymen, others. Let's move on to the Daily Trust. Hunger protest, bereaved families mourn. Atiku, Soyinka, Falana, others speak holes in Tinubu's speech. Protest, NCC extends NIN SIM verification deadline. Algon Rights Finance Commissioners demands immediate payment of July allocation. Looting. Plateau governor imposes 24-hour curfew on Jos metropolis. Amnesty International asks Kano governor to raise investigative panel on shooting of protesters. President out of touch with reality. Protesters say rallies continue today. Man jailed 1 year for stealing 7 mudus of rice. CBN introduces Dutch auction system to tackle forex shortages. Kebbi Varsity commends governor over 15 million naira monthly allocation. Let's move on now to what the Vanguard is saying. Protests. Tinubu's broadcast fell short of expectations. Organizers, Atiku, Soyinka, PDP, NLC, others. Food inflation. Students groan on campuses. IBB disowns post endorsing military rule, says democracy has come to stay. NDLEA seizes loud shipments hitting in 4 vehicles from Canada. Soldiers nab wanted gun runner Hashimu Ahmed in Kaduna. Protest continues today in Lagos. Organizers. 6 days after, whereabouts of kidnapped Delta X lawmaker still unknown. How gunmen struck, Imo community leader tells security agents. Man recovered dead from well in Kwara. Protest. Tinubu's speech hollow, fails to address hardship among Nigerians. Atiku. Call of protest. Poor Nigerians can't endure more days. Itodo Peterside begs. Serap asks Commonwealth to sanction Nigeria over attacks on journalists, protesters. Kachiku to protesters. Stop the bloodshed. You can't remove Tinubu through back door. We are working hard. Results of reforms will soon be visible, Tinubu assures Nigerians. Security forces defy court order, disperse hunger protesters at Abuja Stadium. How 14-month-old stolen baby sold to 3 persons was rescued. I sold my newborn baby for 400,000 naira to pay rent. Feed suspect. Adigborua calls for indefinite suspension of protest. Maid opens up on how Justice Ajimogobia's daughter was murdered. DSS arrests protest leaders in Katsina. Let's move on now to this day. Knox commendations trailed Tinubu's broadcast over hardship protests. Protests. Some sacrifices needed to rescue economy, says Bagudu. Nasima. Non-payment of forex forwards pushing companies into bankruptcy. JTF says pipeline now secure. Urges NNPC to raise oil production to 2.2 million barrels per day. NECA. Ongoing corporate losses may spark shutdown of businesses. Let's move on now to our final stop for today, which is The Guardian. National broadcast. Outrage over rehash of old policies, threats, failure to soothe protesters. Protest. 52 billion naira worth of looting, a setback to entrepreneurs' investments. Livestock Ministry must end open grazing conflicts. Import duty forex rises to 1,618 naira per dollar despite Tinubu's pledges. Nationwide protest. Dialogue remains best option, says Diri. Cancel autonomy or your chairman pull out of Algon to form new association. Kanu judiciary probes looting of court as protest continues. Poor internet service lingers as NCC denies new tariff. Real estate operators groan over spike in electricity cost. Gunmen kill 7 community leaders in Imo. Imo community protests land acquisition, demands more compensation. Firm decries alleged destruction of property, petition Sanwo-Olu, IGP. Sanwo-Olu opens new channel of engagement with protesters. NDLEA intercepts drug consignments in baby food, tins, clothes, arrests 10. Police arrest 2 suspects over looted rice in Edo. And that's it on The Guardian. Time to get to your reactions right now. We are also streaming live on YouTube and Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja. You can go onto these platforms to watch live and be a part of the conversation. Please note that when you get through, move away from your device, state your name, your location, and kindly go straight to sharing your thoughts. Numbers to call this morning, 0700 951 0000 and 08095974869. You can also send a WhatsApp message or call the WhatsApp number 08099930137. Good morning.
The voice, good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Mrs. Somers. I'm reporting live from Buhari. So, the weather is cool and activity is low. People are at home. I just want to advise everybody, if you must go out smartly and wisely. We don't know how the day will be. I think it will be a beautiful day, but I'll send the message. See, on the issue of protest, no protest, government reaction, the protesters, our reaction, I will choose not to say much. But when you sell your birthright, you find it difficult to talk to somebody. If you're in a community and elders cannot talk to young ones cannot talk to children, something is wrong. On the 1st of August, Mr. Wiki called traditional rulers that he wants to give them something. I forgot what he still wants to give them. They gathered there. I will not be the one to tell you you are a media person. I will not be the one to tell you what happened. But I saw our over here. I saw that his car the windscreen was shattered. I saw that some of his workers that went with him were injured. And they asked us to pray for them. It's a good one, though, that they went there. It's a good one that Mr. Wiki called them. But the truth of the matter is, you see some of our traditional rulers, our urban, our pastors, imams, politicians, some of them can no more talk to their subjects or their followers again. Do you know why? I don't declare.
All right.
And we are getting to where we are not supposed to go. Please, everybody should look inward. This is not the best way to go. Money will be everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning to the once again. I did the last caller. This caller, I did Madam Molly, I did Madam Tyra, and all custom listener contributors and followers of this media and for Nigeria. It's pathetic. Indeed, Mr. President's last broadcast and speech was followed. It failed to address the demands of downtrodden masses. The masses expected that Mr. President broadcast will bring succor, will bring relief, but it's contrary. And some people are calling Mr. President's top policies reform. They are not reform. Reform don't bring hardship, don't bring top policies on people create poverty and hunger. People are hungry. We see from items, from the news item, selling of baby is rampant. It's a raise corn for rent. Stealing and looting are rampant. And this is not the individuals of Nigeria. It will be time board of Nigeria as a country, all the richest oil country in Africa, with all that resources. It's high time the Tinubu sit up, because this hunger will not be, it shall never be permanent.
All right.
In the life of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go into the live feed right now and take some of your comments. We're streaming live on YouTube and Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja. Dr. Mrs. Unma Labara in Owerri says the president ended up without addressing the core issues, thereby provoking Nigerians. I'm in pains and weeping for this country. Where do we go from here? And Medium Voyant says, I'm a spiritual clairvoyant. Okay. Also, Francis Namani in Amangunze, Enugu State. The president should revise fuel subsidy, removal of the policies, open our borders, revive our moribund refineries, and diversify Nigeria's economy to address the current economic hardship in the country. Good morning, Anthony Emenogu. My night was good. Thank you for asking. Yusuf Usman Richman says, our leaders have seen us finish. Why will the president make sure such a statement or speech telling us that there are 3,000 housing units in Kasana and other parts of the country? Kasana House, can it be reachable to the poor? They are not serious focusing on our plight. It's all about themselves. God bless Nigeria. Moazu John Lasisi in Jigo Buhari. Man jailed for stealing mudus of rice. The corrupt officials are going about with security escorts. It can only happen in Nigeria. Protesters are also Nigerians. And Friday, Agwaze John, God bless you. Thank you. May God continue to save the poor people in this country. Our leaders should know that one day they will account for everything that they do to us. Yusuf Usman says the president should revise the fuel subsidy, even if it is for 1 year. Things will come back to normal. After that, then things can be put into place to cushion the effect of the removal of subsidy. Joseph Jojo Cash, our president's speech yesterday was uncalled for. God bless Nigeria. God bless you. Let's get to you now. Good morning.
Itodo.
Good morning.
My name is Felix.
Please go ahead. Welcome.
I say, I beg with you that I said whether it will succeed. If I say succeed, protest would never succeed. It has never succeeded. Rather, we will having all these things that we are having. What people have suffered for so long, people will go and look it. People that life was there for them, they will just kill them. They just succeed. We started with the civil society organization withdrawing from the protest. Those that were supposed to address United Nations, address international community. Are they leading the protest? Who are those that are leading the protest? I tell you that they would never succeed. That was why I was so angry that when JJ and the rest were supposed to protest for or strike for at least let Buhari do the needful by opening border, by going back to subsidy regime. That was what we wanted, not add 125% increment in salary, which will be 70,000. In this one people when are coming back from work, branch card and spend every day. You can't hold something in two hands, you must have to keep in one hand. They want to chop thank you, chop very much by themselves. Where to do what? How did they even fund is going to fund 70,000 budget?
Oh, all right.
Some people just when they want to, you don't really know what you want. I was bet with you that day. I said, if the protest succeeds, I bet with you. Good morning.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning, Reverend.
Welcome.
How you doing, bro?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. Prophet Michael Otunwo.
Please go ahead.
If anything happens in this country, if Nigeria collapses finally, if Tinubu, Rotimi Abumechi, I will hold responsible. Me personally. Why? They brought in Buhari to rule Nigeria. Tinubu owns APC. There are people you don't war against. They are supernatural human beings. And by the special grace of God, God revealed to me 3 personalities in this very world that are supernatural human beings. The war against them is what is destroying the world. Let me call one of them Jonathan, our former president. He says somebody is a sinner. It's left for God to say somebody is a sinner. It's left for God.
All right.
There are people God has forgiven their sins for him to use it for their purpose, for God's purpose. And if you are against those people, God will destroy you as a human being. God will destroy your country.
All right.
That's what is happening. You don't war against supernatural human beings.
All right, Prophet. Thank you. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning once again, the Deacon Itodo.
Welcome.
Yes, I remember Mustafa Bakar Ali speaking. I'm calling from TW Kubwa. Yesterday, while Mr. was reading his speech, I felt very, very sorry for him. You know, that is what has happened with almost all our leaders. Their aides will prepare wonderful speech for them, and when they begin to read the speech, you now look at the reality on ground and you see they are on two separate poles. Let me ask a simple question, Mr. Itodo. How many CNG buses do we have running in Abuja at the moment? How many conversion centers do we have here in Abuja? Talk more of Kogi, Nasarawa, Niger, Kaduna, or even my state of Kano. How affordable are they? How accessible are these kids? You see, that is what we are saying. That is what we are saying. If you sit in your lofty mansions or cozy offices without coming to the street to see exactly what is happening, your aides will mislead you. They will make you look. Just look at the speech yesterday. Did not address anything as far as I'm concerned. It's just a regurgitation of what we are used to and what we are known, what is already known.
All right.
He did not say, yes, he did not say how we bring an end to some of these things. Honestly, Mr. Itodo, I'm not a happy man. No. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Let's go on to YouTube right now. It says, woman selling her 4-month-old for 400,000 naira. It's a heartbreaking story. The hunger is real. We are reporting the president to God. Let God help Nigeria. May God bring solution to Nigerians. And Jodwell says, destruction of properties is unfair. This belongs to Nigeria, built by the government, and it is for Nigerians. Amos Torila, watching live from Dogorua. And actor Isa says the Plateau governor imposes curfew in Jos metropolis. That's a nice decision. Protesting against bad governance, yet looting people's shops. It doesn't make any sense because these shop owners are not responsible for bad governance in Nigeria. Destruction of government properties also will do us no good. Please, there's no better way of doing what is wrong. Good morning, Jonah Ame Emmanuel. And Ihodaro Nosa says woman giving 1-year jail term for stealing noodles of rice. This is what you get when you vote wrong. The president's policy is really affecting us, but instead of him to address the issue at hand, he said we should have to endure. For how long shall we continue to endure is the question that he ends that message with. Good morning, Josiah Oba. And Mike Onfon Senior says DSS arrests protest leader in Katsina. The DSS should please leave the protesters alone and instead hunt down terrorist leaders and their sponsors. Despite activities of bandits in Katsina and entire northern region, DSS strength intelligence. Okay. And Abdullah Dan Magaji, good says, please tell the president to reverse to fuel subsidy. We don't need photocopies, is what he says. Good morning, Enoch Beatrice. Thank you so much for joining in, as well as Terry Ishiton, watching live from Boko in Benue State, and Olubodun Michael Heike. It's now 6:53. At 6:55, we'll go on a break, and at 7 o'clock, it'll be time to get into the news for the day. But I think we've got some time to see what you are saying on WhatsApp. All right, so let's go straight to the WhatsApp platform right now and take as many comments as we can take in the time that we have. Ishaku in Lugbe says, hunger protest. Congratulations to Nigeria. The listening president finally spoke. I personally never expected anything from him in the beginning. I'm not expecting it now and would not expect it in the next years to come. He is doing what he knows best, increase revenue, but for themselves in government and loyalists. The state being claimed he built has no unique thing open. The export, import ports in other southern parts of Nigeria, we will see what becomes of the state. Since many of us have been blinded by tribe and religion, we need to continue to endure. Nigeria will surely overcome, is how Ishaku ends his message. Protesters say protest continues today. I pity my country. What do the protesters expect from the president? My concern is the lives on the streets. God save my country, is what Chukwugozie Onu says. I salute the president for his national broadcast. He did well by standing to his decisions to remove fuel subsidy, is what Oludade Abiodun says.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this.
here we are, here for